welcome to Faith, Fashion, and Fur with Leslie Souza. You know what this means? It means that it must be Friday because Faith, Fashion, and Fur has moved to Fridays. So welcome, and I'm glad to have you here today. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my writing career. So, as some of you know, I am a traditionally published writer. And one thing that I have been teaching over the years is a decluttering class. So I want to tell you how that goes along with my writing. So I've written 3 self-published books. I've written Let the Sun Shine In, which was my first book in honor of my mother. After she passed away, I took some of her poems and I answered her poems with my own. So that was really a book for friends and family in honor of my mother's life. What a beautiful life and wonderful life that she did live, because she was one who would give you the shirt off her back. So just a life well lived is what we put on the little, what do you call it? It's not a brochure, but the little memorial thing that you hand out at a celebration of life. So I wrote that book first, and then I went on to write a book, A Walk Around Israel. I'm going to be working on that. I wrote it as a result of a trip that I went on to Israel, and I wrote it as if you had gone on the trip with me, what we saw, what we learned. We're hearing some noisy little fur over here. It's Coda and his little bells, so that his older blind brother can find him. So that was just a little thing that we did to help his brother. So I wrote that book. The Walk Around Israel. I'm going to be rewriting that for anyone that would like to go to Israel and hasn't been, anyone that has been to Israel. And what it is the different sites that you see in Israel and the different verses out of the Bible that pertain to those sites, and what you can learn through visiting Israel, or even if you can't, just about Israel in Scripture. So I'm going to rewrite it as if for general public, for people that, because what was happening, I wrote it for my church, and people took it to Israel with them. They bought it if they couldn't go on the Israel trip, and they also bought one after their Israel trip to refresh their memory on what they've learned. So instead of making it specifically for people who have been on that trip, I'm going to be put that together in a way that is for the general audience. So I hope that if that's something you're interested in, you'll be looking for that. I'm hoping to get those into gift shops in Israel. I have a possible connection to do that. So that's the reason for the rewriting. I went on to write Sit Still after that. I just try to challenge myself every time after I write something, and this was definitely a challenge. It was a larger book, and it was a devotional, 1 a week. So I wrote that, and then from there, I did get a diagnosis of breast cancer, which most of you know who know me. And from there, I wrote a book called Broken Wing, Unbroken Spirit, 20 Glimpses of Grace While Walking with the Lord. And that's the book that I'm working on getting published right now. And then from there, I did write my first novel, The Carnival Man, and I have a trilogy in mind. It will be The Carnival Man, The Magician, and The Juggler. Sound good? But I'm taking a little break from that because in the meantime, Broken Wing and The Carnival Man, I want to go back and introduce some of these other characters that are going to be in these books following The Carnival Man that actually make it into a trilogy. But a really good idea was suggested to me, but honestly at the time I didn't know it was a good idea. But that was to write a book on my experience with decluttering. And my experience with decluttering came from empty nest syndrome. So I'm going to be working on that book, and I'm just wondering, like, how many of you would be interested in that? Something on decluttering. It's not Marie Kondo's book on decluttering. It's actually more, it is about my decluttering experience, but it's what happened inside of my heart while I decluttered, how it healed me, how it brought me closer to the Lord. So it's more of a spiritual decluttering book, and I've started that, but I haven't gotten very far, but I have a lot of really, really good ideas for that, thanks to a literary agent. I don't know if it'd be appropriate to mention it on here, so for the time being I won't. So I'd like to read you the poem that I wrote about decluttering. I think the dog's trying to get out. Okay, Coda, do you want to? Okay, just a second. Here you go. I hope you like dogs, because I have to take a little break to let my dog out. Oh my word. Okay. All right, Coda. There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead, baby. All right. So I just want to, oh my goodness, just want to share this poem that I write. It's called Simply. And again, like I said, it has to do with decluttering. So over the years, this is dedicated to both of my boys, Parker and Chase, my pride and joy for sure. Over the years, we'd had lots of fun, leaving boring tasks simply undone, making time for bedtime stories, always some prayer, a sock or a toy. Just stick it somewhere. You see where I'm going? I'm cluttering. Okay. Blowing on his tummy, brushing his hair, much left undone, but I didn't care. Eyes barely open, I need a rest. Oh, that little thing, I think there's room in the chest. Running in and out, just one more hug, a handmade gift for me. I made it with love. That's what my little boy says when he gives it to me. Christmas morning, the pitter-patter of tiny feet. Suddenly, my new house wasn't that neat. Is there room in that closet? A little to the right? I'll move it tomorrow. Please, kids, don't fight. Dinner and homework as we rushed about. Quick, time for a tickle, oh my goodness, an expected gleeful shout. Put it in that basket, the one by the door. Time to sell cookies, it's already 4. Don't forget your homework, we worked on it all night, over by the phone. Time for a quick bite. Go grab your backpack, you'll miss the bus. Just put it in that pile, no time to fuss. Plenty of sleepovers, video games, that neat, tidy house forever then changed. The pitter-patter of feet became larger indeed as little boys turned to teenagers. For me, there was less need. So it's kind of going into my empty nest thing too. Run to the bank, withdraw the deposit, arms full of groceries. I'll just stick this one last thing right in the closet. Walking the dog alone, less cookies to make. Time started changing, my heart felt an ache. Grab some cereal, son, I have to run. I work outside the home where everything must be done. The youngest left first to defend our country. A photojournalist with the Air Force was what he would be. One day it got quiet on my heartstrings, one last tug. I'm going to marry the one that I love. They were soon grown and I was so proud, but my house was so quiet and the mess was so loud. There's magic in tidying up. Is that what I read? I put the book down, took a look under my bed. I looked in places I hadn't for years. I went through old papers. I cried a few tears. As my space started to take shape, my new passion for cleanliness pressed on until each page was read and each task had been done. When you put things away, use your time wisely and smart. Make your house a little tidier. Do a full declutter of your heart. I walk in my house today. There's joy everywhere. Time for the important stuff, which is most definitely prayer. There isn't a day that doesn't go by I don't think of my little boys eyes and how simply time flies. The clutter is quiet now, time to make some new fun. Time for tea in my favorite cup, because it's all simply done. The Lord's voice is heard softly now, my heart fully decluttered. Job well done, my good and faithful servant. You were a terrific mother. Thank you for tuning in today. If you want to hear more about decluttering, there will be more to come next Friday. Thank you. Bye. I do want to add a little something to today about fashion. If you can, I mean, I think it's wonderful. There's cute things on Amazon. There's cute things at Walmart and Target and all that. But once in a while, if you can, a couple times a year or 6 times a year would be perfect. Try to save up a little bit and treat yourself to something at a boutique. I don't share this with very many people, but boutique is one of my favorite words. And when I see that out on the street or in a town I haven't visited before, I try to pay a couple of boutiques a little visit. You will find just unique things there that you can't find everywhere else. So if your thing is maybe just like an unusual or fun pair of jeans or a fun top or something really feminine or a cute dress or a sundress or whatever it is, try once in a while to stop at those boutiques and see if you can possibly treat yourself to just one thing. That's all I let myself do. I go and I find a lot of cute things, but I just pick one thing that's really special. And I think I bought this probably 10 years ago, but this is one special little, I just loved all the little intricate design on it. And I think you would call it like a little bit of like just a very simple embroidery. And I've had this for years, but just I'll show you, it's just a really cute little fun top with the sleeves and everything. So the thing about finding something special at a boutique is that it usually is something that you love, and it's something you don't let go of. So it's something that you can wear for years to come. You don't have to have a lot of it because let's face it, I'm not a celebrity, so nobody's outside my door waiting to see what I'm going to walk out in. So I can wear the same thing a couple of days in a row, or at least multiple times during the year. So sometimes it's worth investing just on something really special that maybe you won't find anywhere else. Another place that I have found those special finds is Stitch Fix. Once in a while I'll grab a little something from there, and like I mentioned, the boutiques, but sometimes even a thrift store, you can just find something fun and fabulous. So so just add that to your fashion knowledge, and hopefully it will come in handy sometime. Have a great day.